Hi guys, so today I want to talk to you about scarification of your lawn. What do we mean by scarifying? We essentially mean raking. So raking is the purpose of removing stuff.
Hi guys, so today we are renovating this particular lawn. It is a huge, great big, fat, chunky lawn. All the way around the back, there's 2 circles at the back. Let's crack on.
Hi guys, so today I want to talk to you about scarification, scarifying of your lawn. So I'm going to show you this lawn and I'm going to discuss scarifying and how you can scarify your own lawn. So we've got a fairly large lawn to deal with today, and it's a lawn which sweeps all the way around down the side of the garden, and it is very thick and it's very full of moss, and there's going to be quite a lot of thatch that comes out of this. We'll just show you going round. So it sweeps down into this corner, and we've got a circle here, and beyond that trellis there's another circle over there, a little bit smaller. What a fantastic location in the countryside. That's your soil level, and you've got underneath the ground and you've got above the ground. Scarifying is everything to do that's on the top. So like I say, every time you mow, some of the pieces of grass will fall down and lay there and decompose, but some won't decompose very quickly and they'll stay there, and eventually that builds up like a thatched roof on a house, and a thatched roof is designed to stop rain from getting into the house. So it's exactly the same here. If you don't scarify your lawn, that layer of thatch builds up over time, and then rain struggles to get down. There's several ways of raking your lawn. You can use a little metal spring rake with the piece of metal there that keeps it firm. You don't want them ones that you can adjust because they're too flimsy. And these are pretty good if you've only got a small lawn. These are made by Wolfgarten, 10-year guarantee, and they've got the actual scarifying blades on which pivot, and you just rock this backwards and forwards to scarify your lawn. So as you can see there, literally all that thatch and moss there is just nestled in and amongst the blades of grass. Quite scary, isn't it? When you look at that. All that was there in the ground, and there's still more to come out. So I'm more than likely going to go over this again. Yeah, what a difference this is going to make. Got to get this cleared up now. So that's a 2-hour time frame. We've done the first pass and we've taken four ton bags of moss and thatch out. So that's it. It's been scarified 3 times now. Feels a lot firmer underfoot, and we have pulled out 6 bags of waste. Right guys, so we are carrying on with this overall lawn renovation. We did all the scarifying, which, as you can see, filled 11 ton bags and numerous black bags as well. So I've got to get rid of that later on today. And I brought with me 60 bags of compost, and they're going to be used for the top dressing. It's just a normal multi-purpose compost. Grow more. Works quite well. It's as good as any multi-purpose compost. So today we're talking about hollow tine aeration. So when I've got these out, we'll get the machine out and you can have a look. But hollow tine aeration is the process of punching holes in the ground and removing the soil that comes out of the hole. So it allows aerating nutrients to get down a lot quicker, simpler and easier, and that will enable the grass to thrive because it's getting all the nutrients and everything it needs easier. When ground and grass gets walked on often, it becomes compacted over time, so relieving that compaction makes a massive difference. Definitely one of the things you want to do on a regular basis. So what did your parents and grandparents used to do? Years ago, used to sit in with a garden fork and pushing it into the grass. That's aeration. Well, that's more of a solid tine aeration-ish. Which is good, it does help everything get down, but you are pushing soil further down and eventually compacting that ground. So hollow tine is more beneficial in that aspect, and most of the time you can leave the holes open and they will naturally close over time, which loosens the surrounding soil around each hole, which makes the whole of the soil a little bit more pockets of air in there, and it's far better. Years ago, when I was about 13, I used to do my mum and dad's garden, and my dad turned a garden border into seed. He seeded it, and that grass grew 2 or 3 times faster than the main lawn, and it's because the soil had been turned over and air had been worked in and it was looser. Same principle. So the first thing I've got to do, I've got to get this bad boy mowed. We did the scarifying yesterday, so we've got to clear off any excess rubbish bits of grass that's just there. So we've got a nice clean bed for when we're doing the aeration, and more importantly, when we are blowing the cores up, we don't want loads of bits of grass all flying around, so we're trying to minimise that with a good mow. Right, so the parts of the garden we're not really filming are this semicircle and one behind there. We've already aerated these, and we've just finished aerating all of this back lawn here. So what you can see the holes roughly every 3 inches on a staggered basis, and now rain can get down, air can get down around the roots, and any nutrients we put on can get in easily. So the grass can make use of it, the grass can recover faster from drought stress, the grass will thrive, the roots will grow into those spaces and become a happier, healthier, thicker, lusher, greener lawn. So aeration of your lawn is something you really want to do on a regular basis. Once a year will just keep it happy. So there you go, all cleared up, nice and clean, and all the cores are there in a line. Going to rake those into piles, put them into bags and get rid of the waste. So once this is done, we'll be carrying out overseeding and top dressing. So in this video we're talking about overseeding and top dressing of the lawn. We've scarified, we've hollow tine aerated, and we've overseeded. And you see there all the grass seeds in the ground. Okay, and top dressing, multi-purpose compost. So we've done that semicircle with the top dressing and seed. And we've done this one with the top dressing and seed. All the customer has to do now is keep it damp for the next 2 to 4 weeks, and then they can taper back the watering, so it doesn't have to be watered quite as much after the first 2 to 4 weeks. Once it's germinated and once it's starting to come through, still needs water because it's a very young plant, but it won't need as much. You've got to try and keep them as damp as you can for the first few weeks, just to help with germination rates and stop it drying out. If it dries out, there's a chance the seeds are going to be a goner. Right, so top dressing, I'm just using a little push spreader. It's a Scott spreader, and it's not the fastest, but it works well. It's dead easy. Just put it in, adjust this dial by turning this, and I'm on the maximum and I'm going over it twice, and literally you just open the handle up, put your seed into the hopper first, open your handle up, pull, and just walk forwards, and you can see the seeds coming out. And it's as easy as that. So time wise, 10 o'clock, okay, and I got here at 8 o'clock, so in 2 hours we've overseeded all of this. We've overseeded those 2 semicircles there and top dressed those 2, and we put a wetting agent on before we watered it all in. So now we're going to get the top dressing on this, and I'm going to get some footage for you when we do this one. So watch this space. I often get asked what seed I use, and for most lawns it's a general mixed amenity seed that you can buy on the shelves of B&Q, Tesco, etc. because it's just all round. If someone's got a specific need, like a fine fescue lawn, dwarf ryegrass, we can do all that, but in general, most of the time this is absolutely fine for what people want. As long as it comes out green and it's lush, that's what people want. This particular one, Sheriff Amenity, I'll show it you. Sheriff Amenity, clean cut. Okay. The seed mixture is lawn, so if you want the same, you can get the same. So what now? I'm just going to go up and down the lawn twice to get enough good seed coverage, and then we'll start the top dressing. So that's the seeding done. Now we're going to get the top dressing on. So we have this, there's lots of top dressers. This is a Bannerman. This is a Bannerman mini topper. They're not cheap, but they do the job. You can get the Landsy spreaders, or you can spread by hand. And basically there's a hopper inside, and as the wheel spins round it comes out the front and breaks up all the clumps, usually. So that's it, all top dressed. Just going to work it in now with the lute, just dragging the lute backwards and forwards. Then I'm going to run the roller over just to firm it all in. So that's all the top dressing done, luted in and rolled in. So what I'm going to do now is just go around with the blower and just tidy up the edges and blow them back onto the lawn. Then I'm going to get my knapsack sprayer over there and spray the lawn with wetting agent, and then I'm going to give it a really good watering in. So you've got to keep the seeds wet and damp for the first 2 to 4 weeks to allow for good germination and health. So in the summer we're looking at between sort of 3 and 4 times a day, possibly 5 times a day if it's very hot. In spring and autumn you can get away with watering twice a day. After 4 weeks you can start tapering back the amount of watering and just keep it going to some degree over the next few months until it's become established, which can take up to 6 months. guys, so we are finished now. I'm going to talk to you a bit about watering your lawn. So you can see it's a fine mist. This is great. You can go a bit heavier than this. What you don't want is a firm jet of water. Let me show you. This is good. That's not good when you point it down to the ground, because it'll move some of the seeds to one side. It's okay when you're firing it up in the air and it falls down as a mist, but don't point that down to the ground. So what you got to do now, 2 to 4 weeks, you've got to water every day. If it's spring or autumn, you can probably get away with watering twice a day. If there's dew in the morning, you can get away with just watering in the evening. If it rains in the day, that can replace one of the waterings. As it gets hotter, and if you're doing it more in higher temperatures, you know, 15 plus, for example, you need to water more, between 3 and 5 times a day. Now we are here in wherever we are, September, at the back end of summer, and we've got another little heat wave. So this is going to have a good soak, and I'm going to go over the other lawns as well, give it all a good watering. The customer's aware of what to do, but you do this, you'll have a nice lawn in about 3 or 4 weeks, and then it'll start to thicken up. After those 4 weeks, you can start to reduce your watering to once a day for a few weeks, and then you can reduce it to sort of 3 times a week, and eventually 2 times a week is plenty, which is what you should be doing with your lawn anyway, twice a week deeply when it's hot. Right guys, if you've got any questions or comments, please pop them below and I'll do my best to answer. If you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you like my videos, please consider pressing the subscribe button, and I'll get more out to you that's like this. Thanks.